Hello everyone, welcome back to Believer Science Academy, Bengaluru. This is everyday news analysis session, and in this session we will be discussing a very important news articles which are important from UPSC prelims, mains as well as your interview preparation. Without any delay, we start the session. The first article deals about rural community immigration class scheme. Okay, this article has been taken by Press Information Bureau. We will see the important key aspects of this article. The RCIC scheme is a new program introduced by Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada in December 2024. The initiative aims to address labor shortages and promote long-term development in smaller rural communities by attracting foreign nationals and international students. So this scheme, it is not a scheme of the government of India. Instead, it is a scheme of government of Canada. Aim is to bring more laborers so that they can address the labor shortage that is happening in Canada right now. So what are the key objectives? Key objective is addressing the labor shortages by providing a pathway for immigration to smaller communities. The scheme targets filling labor gaps and aims to promote rural development. That is, it encourages settlements in rural areas, fostering economic and social growth. Okay, they will be making the immigrants who are coming to Canada to settle in rural areas, so that by settling there they can improve the development of rural areas. Okay, so what are the eligibility criteria? The criteria are, there are certain education requirements, that is, applicants must have a qualification of 10+2 graduation or secondary school. So it is not like any person can go there. It has to be a person who has certain kind of educational qualifications. And then studies in designated communities. That is, there is a 18-month study rule, meaning international students who have completed at least 18 months of study in designated communities are eligible to apply directly for the permanent residency. Okay, so once you complete a 18-month study, that is a rule of Canada government, only then you will be able to apply for permanent residency. Then about studies outside of designated areas, applicants who studied elsewhere may also apply but meet certain additional conditions. There will be certain additional conditions who have studied outside designated areas, but for those who have studied in the designated areas, they have to complete 18 months. Only then they will be getting permanent residency. And there is job offer. A job offer letter from the registered or designated employer in the community is required. Okay, only when you have a job offer, then you will be allowed in the particular communities. The offer can cover any job category, including non-skilled roles also. The community will issue a certificate supporting the PR application, that is permanent residency application, after reviewing the job offer. Then there is also need for work experience. If you are applying directly for the labor, that is, relevant work experience is related, like relevant work experience in the particular field is required, obviously. Then there are certain exemptions for international graduates, that is, certain international graduates may qualify without this condition. That is, the condition of relevant work experience is not required for certain international graduates. Then there is also a criteria for language, that is, candidates must meet the Canadian language benchmark requirements based on the job's NOC tier level. Okay, it depends on the level of the job that is required. Okay, it depends on the level of the job a person is required to do. There is tier 0 to 1, you will be needing Canadian language benchmark of 6. For tier 2 3, you will need Canadian language benchmark of 5. For tier 4 to 5, CLB 4. That is not very important for UPSC perspective, but there is, you have to know that there is a language criteria for availing the scheme. Then there is also financial proof. applicant must show that they possess at least half of the low income threshold for rural areas, which will be determined by the Statistics Canada to sustain themselves for 1 year. And then there is also a intent to reside criteria. That is, the candidates who apply for this scheme must provide genuine evidence of their intention to live in the designated rural community. Okay, meaning they have to show a genuine interest, that genuine evidence that they are going to reside in the particular area once they have done the completed 18 months rule or once they have the required eligibility criteria. So, what is the significance for postgraduate work permit holders? There is a scheme offers a new pathway for nearly 7.66 lakh international students whose PGWPs are set to expire by the end of 2025, enabling them to secure permanent residency and contribute to rural development in Canada. Okay, this is like a boon for those candidates whose PGWP was going to expire in 2025. Okay, then there is a second article. This was from the Hindu. It talks about Pallas cat. What is Pallas cat? Which is a rare Himalayan fern. That is, recently there was the first photographic evidence of Pallas cat in the Himachal Pradesh, India, was recorded during the snow leopard survey. This discovery underscores the need for urgent conservation efforts for lesser known species in the Indian Himalayas. Okay, so the person or some group was doing a snow leopard survey, and during this survey they were able to identify or they were able to photograph Pallas cat. Before this, there were very less evidence to prove that Pallas cat are available in India, that is Pallas cat is available in Himachal Pradesh. Now this is the Pallas cat, a beautiful fluffy cat breed which is present in Himalayas. Okay, so what is Pallas cat? On scientific classification, its scientific name is Autocolumbus manul or manul, however you decide to pronounce it, and the common name is Pallas cat or manul. Okay, and family, it comes to Felidae cat family, which also is the same family which involves house cats, fishing cats, etc. And the historical background, it is named after Peter Simon Pallas, who is a German naturalist who first described the species in 1776 based on the specimens collected near Lake Baikal, Russia. Okay, so this cat was originally discovered in Russia, but now the proof are available that this cat is present in India also. And about the distribution and habitat, primary range is it is mainly found in Central Asia, and the countries are Western Iran, Mongolia, China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan. All the Central Asian countries house this Pallas cat, but now it is also present in India. Habitat is mainly found in mountainous plains and semi-desert foothills. And what are the distinctive features? Size is comparable to a house cat. It is so small that it is similar to house cat. Body length is about 45 to 60 centimeter, very small, and tail length is 25 to 30 centimeters, almost same as the body length, and weight is just 2.5 to 3.5 kg. And fur and coloration, the color of the fur is pale silvery gray or light brown fur. This pale silvery gray is what I shown you in the images, and the under part of fur is about twice as long as the upper part of fur, which is an adaptation to cold surfaces, so that they can escape from the cold conditions which are present in the mountainous regions. And there are certain unique traits, that is broad head with high set eyes and low set ears, ringed and black tipped tail. Okay, and some individuals display faint dark body markings also. And in the conservation status, in IUCN, it is in the least concern, meaning that it is not under any kind of threat. And in the CITES, it is under appendix 2, meaning that international trade is somewhat restricted. And what is the significance of recent discovery? The significance is the documentation of Pallas cat in Himachal Pradesh not only expands its known range but also highlights the ecological importance of conserving lesser known species in India's Himalayan region. Okay, so there are many species which are yet to be discovered, in India, and there are many species which are discovered but their conservation is not properly done in India. So this discovery proves that there are many species in India which require the same amount of conservation which are providing for important species such as tiger, leopard, etc. etc. Next, Article 3. This was from Business Standard. This article deals about incineration, which also focuses on understanding the process. It is in news because recently a village in there is a village. The village is okay. Pitampur, Pitampur in Bhopal. That is, the residents of Pitampur have strongly objected to the incineration of 377 metric tons of harmful union carbide waste brought from Bhopal. Okay, everyone must know about the union carbide gas leakage in Bhopal and which resulted in deaths of many people. So that union carbide harmful waste was taken to Pitampur village, which houses a incineration camp, or which was a incineration uh, settlement or building. But now they are the people of that particular villages are against this incidents or against this initiative because they are hesitant about the leakage of union carbide oil which happened in the Bhopal previously. So their concerns likely stem from potential health and environmental risks associated with the incineration process, emphasizing the need for robust safety and pollution control measures. So this is why it is in use. Now we'll understand what is incineration process and how it works. So what is incineration? Basically, incineration is nothing but burning of certain things. Okay, in incineration, it is a process mainly of burning hazardous materials at extremely high temperatures to destroy the contaminants present in the pollutants. It is widely used method for treating various types of hazardous waste such as plastic, radioactive, etc. etc. waste are disposed of using this method, that is incineration. So, what are the key features of incineration? It requires high temperature combustion. This high temperature ensures that harmful chemicals are destroyed. Then there is also materials treated. The materials are soil, sludge, liquids and gases. All this can be incinerated. Effectiveness: it destroys hazardous substances like solvents, polychlorinated biphenyls, that is PCBs, and the pesticides. But the drawback is it cannot destroy metals such as lead or chromium. Okay, but it is effective in destroying solvents such as PCBs, etc. etc. And there is also a positive of waste to energy potential, meaning in incineration the very basic idea is that you are going to burn the hazardous waste. When you are going to burn the hazardous waste, you are going to produce some sort of heat. Okay, that heat generated during the process can be harnessed to produce electricity, meaning using the heat you can convert the water into gas or steam. That steam can be used to run the turbines, which is what happens in thermal combustion engines. Okay, so how does incineration works? This incineration method involves preparation of materials, that is, first hazardous materials are excavated and then pumped into a containers. After further preparation such as grinding, debris removal and water reduction may also be required depending on the input or hazardous material. And then the second process is combustion process, meaning materials are placed in the incinerator's combustion chamber where they are heated to extremely high temperatures for a specific duration depending on the waste and the contents in contaminants. Then oxygen or air is applied to sustain combustion. This aspect of using oxygen or air differentiates this incineration from pyrolysis. Okay, there is another process called as pyrolysis, which is also similar to burning of the waste, but it doesn't burn without the it burns without the presence of oxygen. That is anaerobic combustion. Then what are the contaminant destruction? Third process is contaminants volatile, which are converted into gases during the heating. Most harmful gases are destroyed in the primary combustion chamber, and the remaining gases are made to pass through a secondary chamber for additional heating and destruction. Meaning, if certain gases which escape from the primary combustion, they are made to go through the secondary combustion so that even the slightest remnants of gases are not remained. Then pollution control. The resultant gases pass through air pollution control equipment. The equipment removes particulate matter, acid gases, reducing the emissions. Okay, so this is in a way a very important method of converting waste into or treating waste management. Okay, next is article number 4, which deals with Gomti River. This is an article taken from Business Standard. The recent initiative it is in news because the Territorial Army has established a new task force dedicated to the rejuvenation and protection of Gomti River, aiming to address its ecological challenges and promote sustainable management. So we'll have to understand what is Gomti River and its significance. Gomti River is a left bank tributary of Ganga. The Gomti River is a significant tributary of Ganges River, which is flowing entirely through Uttar Pradesh. Okay, and then approximately has a length of 900 kilometers, very long, and the drainage basin covers an area of about 18,750 square kilometers. Okay, a very big river on itself, but also it acts as a tributary for Ganga River. The course of the river is, it originates in Gomat Tal, which is also known as Fulhar Jil, near Mandhor Thanda, near Madho Thanda in the Pilibhat district of Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so this Pilibhat district is very important because most of the times the origination or origin of Gomti River is considered to be Pilibhat. Okay, but it is also Gomat Tal or Fulhar Tal near Madho Thanda. And the path it follows is, the river flows southwards, traversing key districts as Lucknow, Barabanki, Sultanpur, Faizabad, Jaunpur before joining Ganga River. It drains the region between Ram Ganga River and Sharda River. These are another tributaries of Ganga River. Okay, so and what are the hydrological features? It is a perennial river because it is a river which is a Himalayan river, meaning it gets fed by the Himalayan snow melt during the summer region or winter region, and it gets fed by the direct waters during the monsoon time. Okay, Gomti flows throughout the river year with a sluggish flow most of the time, except during the monsoon season when the heavy rainfall significantly increases the runoff. Its tributaries are Sai River, Chauka River, Kathina River, and Saryu River. Okay, so it itself is a big river with so many tributaries. So, and what is the ecological importance and challenges of Gomti River? Gomti River plays a vital role in ecosystems of Uttar Pradesh, which supports agriculture, biodiversity, and livelihoods. However, challenges such as pollution, encroachments, and reduced flow during the dry seasons necessitate concerted efforts like the Territorial Army's task force to restore its health and vitality. Okay, so this scheme is very important considering the significance of Gomti River to Uttar Pradesh, its livelihood, its agriculture, and the biodiversity. So the hope is that the Territorial Army's task force is successfully maintaining the river's health. Then article is about Ramesh Chand panel. So there was an article about Ramesh Chand panel in the Hindu. It talks about purpose of the panel or what is the key significance or recommendations of Ramesh Chand panel. You will be seeing this news. So The government has constituted an 18-member panel headed by NITI Aayog member Ramesh Chand. The aim of the panel is to revise the base year to wholesale price index from 2011-12 to 2022-23. Okay, presently WPI, that is wholesale price of index, is calculated on the basis of 2021-2022 as the base year. Now they want to change it to 2020-2023. Propose a transition roadmap to produce a price index. Presently in India, we only have WPI and CPI, that is consumer price index, and there have been talks about a new index, that is producer price index, for a long time of period. So now this panel aims to produce a transition roadmap to producer price index. So in this article, we will see the mandates of Chanda panel. So Ramesh Chand panel. Sorry. So So revision of commodity baskets. Suggests a revised commodity baskets for both WPI and PPI based on the structural changes in the economy. Review of price collections. It is evaluate the current system of price collection and propose necessary improvements. Then computational methodology, that is determine the appropriate computational methodologies for WPI and PPI. Okay, first is current system of price collection and propose necessary improvements, and second is computation methodology, change computation methodology so that there is less errors in computation of WPI and PPI. And fourth is composition of the panel, that is it includes economists from the government, rating agencies, asset management companies, banks, and representatives from the Reserve Bank of India and the government, so that the recommendations are far-fetched and the recommendations are broad-based, so that there is a consensus based from various significant dignitaries from various stakeholders of the economy. Next, timeline for report submission. That is, the panel will submit its final report to the Office of Economic Advisor under the DPIIT, that is Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, within 18 months. So 18 months is the deadline for Ramesh Chand panel. So main thing you have to remember is Ramesh Chand panel is about changing the base year of WPI and also changing the composition of WPI, in the sense changing the baskets of WPI as well as PPI. Okay, at present there are baskets and there is different weightage given to different articles, that is different weightage is given to food, different weightage is given to services, etc., etc. Now they want to change it. And the third main important is bring the roadmap to producer price index. Okay, so now we'll discuss about wholesale price index versus producer price index. So wholesale price index, it represents prices of goods at the wholesale level. Okay, that is bulk trading between organizations and not the consumers. Okay, first you have to understand this. There is industry or factory or manufacturers. Okay, they are going to produce a good, particular good, and this goods will be bought in a wholesale way by the bulk trading operators, wholesale. Okay, this is the wholesale. This wholesale price index calculates the inflation at their level. Okay, at their level. After wholesale price index, after the wholesalers, they are going to sell it to normal traders, okay, middlemen, and then that from traders you are going to buy. Who are we? We are the consumers. Okay, so this change in the rate at the wholesale price is calculated by wholesale price index. Then what about the consumer price? What about the inflation at the consumer level? Who is going to calculate? That will be calculated by consumer price index. Okay, so there will be always difference between wholesale price index and consumer price index, because there is a middleman between the wholesale price. Okay, since you are buying at a bulk, you are going to get the goods at a lower price. Price will be low here. You are going to get the price at the lower price. Then after getting the wholesale price, then you will be sending it to normal traders or small businessmen. Those businessmen are going to add additional tax, or additional, not the tax, additional charges because of transportation, etc., 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 and their profit. So then they are going to sell it to consumers. Okay, so the consumer price index will most probably be always high compared to the wholesale price index. Then wholesale price index excludes the service sector, which contributes about 55% of the GDP. Okay, this is very significant disadvantages of wholesale price index because it doesn't provide correct measure of inflation because it is excluding whole service price in service sectors. Then limitations is it does not reflect the inflation at the consumer level. It suffers from double counting of products. That is, once it is counted at the wholesale producers, then it is counted at the wholesalers. Then excludes exports and imports. So there are many drawbacks which should be addressed by Ramesh Chand panel. Then what about producer price index? Okay, this tracks the prices from the producer's perspective, covering goods and services at various stages of production. I already told you there will be producers, industry, or manufacturers, and then they will be selling it to wholesale price. These wholesalers are going to sell it to traders or small business, and then these traders will be selling to consumers. At the consumers, there is consumer price index. At the wholesale, there is wholesale price index. And to study the inflation at the producer level, that is producer price index. Okay, hope you understood this. Then it excludes indirect taxes. It measures prices before the consumer purchases. Okay, so what are the advantages compared to WPA? It accounts for services which are not present in WPA. It aligns with the internationally agreed system of national accounts. Okay, at the international level, inflation is calculated at the producer price index, and it is more relevant for measuring inflation from the perspective of industry and businesses. Okay, then what are the key differences between WPA and PPA? Scope for WPA is only goods only. In PPI, it is both goods and services. Weight assignment, it is based on the net traded value, whereas in PPI, it is based on the supply use tables. Then aspects, that is inflation viewpoint. Inflation viewpoint, consumer inflation is not accounted, whereas in PPA, industry and business perspective is more calculated. Adaptation or adoption, it is presently used in India. It is adopted globally but not yet adopted in India. Okay, so what is the significance of Ramesh Chand panel? The Ramesh Chand panel's recommendations could modernize India's price indices, aligning them with international standards and improving the measurement of inflation and economic activity. Okay, so these are the important articles which I wanted to discuss with you today. Very important and very relevant articles from your UPSC perspective, both from prelims, mains, and interview perspective. Okay, so if you have any doubts or if you have any suggestions for me, you can write it in the comment box. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and also click on the bell icon so that you don't miss any notification. With this, I will end the video. Jai Hind.